So yesterday we have seen one HashMap program where we have created a hash map with the key as string and value as an integer. Right. Similarly, we'll see another program today with the same string and integer as keys and values respectively. Okay. So, but you know that instead of using hash map to create an object for hash map, we can also use map, because map is an interface which is implemented by HashMap class, right? So I'm importing util package and defining a class called HashMap demo, and I'm creating a HashMap object HM, right? By using interface map, I'm creating a reference variable HM, and then instantiating it with HashMap class. Okay. Then using put function, we are adding one string key called a, and with that an integer must be added, right? So to create an integer object, instead of creating an object separately and passing that as a parameter to this put function, directly I'm instantiating the integer class here and adding integer object with its value as 100, right? So that means in the hash map, first key is a and its value is 100. Similarly, then I'm putting b with 200, C with 300, D with 400. So totally we are adding 4 elements, 4 items to the hash map. A associated with 100, B associated with 200, C associated with 300, D associated with 400. Okay. Then we have a set class. Do you know in the PPT I've shown you some set of classes and interfaces in the hierarchy, right? So we have a class called set class. So we can use that set class here. I'm using here set class here. So look at the way I'm using set here. So set is what? Set contains a set of values. It is just like a mathematical set. It is just like a mathematical set. So look at how I created the set here. Map dot entry string integer, and look at the square angular brackets, how they are created. So one angular bracket is open here, another one is closed here. So that means this entire thing will become a set, right? And in that again, what I'm doing is I'm using map.entry. So what is this map.entry? So map is an interface that we have seen yesterday, right? We have used map interface yesterday also in yesterday's program also. So here I'm using directly here. There we have passed it as a parameter to a method called print method. But instead I'm creating it directly here. A reference variable map reference variable is created, right? So here what I'm doing is I'm using map dot entry, and again here this entry is nothing but another map kind of a thing. So here in this entry I'm using string and integer. I'm creating a variable called st for this set, right? So I think you'll have a little bit confusion here. So let me explain it in a better way. Mm, we didn't discuss about entry set methods earlier. So first, let me discuss about set and then map dot entry. So set mathematically. What is a set? Collection of
Collection of
collection of objects in Java context. We'll use instead of using items, we'll use objects because collection is a collection of individual objects in Java, right? So even set is one type of collection. So a collection of objects uh, that are unique means what? No duplicate entries will be accepted. Then coming to map.entry. So here set is an interface here. It is an interface in java.util package. Okay. So we'll use this set interface here. So this will allow us to create sets which contains objects which are unique. That means there will not be any repetition, right? And then coming to map.entry, this is also an interface. So why I'm using map.entry. M is capital letter and E is also capital letter here. So you must understand from Java's naming convention, map is already an interface. We know that. So if we are using dot means what? Either this entry must be a member of this interface, that is a method of an interface or variable of an interface. But because we are using capital E, it is uh, a sub interface. Map.entry is a sub interface. Okay. So this is also another interface defined in java.util package. Okay. So what we can do with this Java map.entry is we can call a method. There is a method we use in our program here. So look at the method entry set method. What is this going to do is it is going to return collection objects in the form of a map.entry interface. So what I am doing here is I'm creating a st object. What is st object? It is a type of set object, right? So that means what? This map.entry is another interface which is passed as one of the collection objects. So that means we are using nested collection here. We're using nested collection. So this is a set, and this set must contain individual objects. Then again, that individual object itself is another collection here, right? So what is that individual object going to contain means each and every object will contain another uh, map interface objects, which will be a combination of string and integer values. That means we have used earlier hash map, right? So that kind of hash map set will be returned. So each object in this set is nothing but in turn again another hash map. So if you want to create in such a way nesting of uh, hash map with a set, okay, then we can use this way, the syntax in this way. First you need to open the angular bracket for set and close it here. And inside this set, what type of objects you are going to store means again this is going to create another map.entry collection object. So again, each and every object is going to contain a pair of key value pairs. Uh, Key is string and integer is the value associated with that string, right? So that means you are nesting a hash map into a set. So set contains individual group of objects which cannot be repeated, and each object again in that set is nothing but a hash map. Okay, so to return such kind of an object, we have a method called in hash map, right? We have a method called entry set method. So if you call this entry set method using this hash map that we created earlier, hm, right? So this is going to return an object of this type, right? So we are going to store it in st. We're going to store that in st. Then later what I'm doing is in the for loop, for each loop. So map dot entry. So every map dot entry, every object in this set is nothing but a map dot or one another collection object, and that collection object is nothing but it is represented as a hash. So what I'm doing is for map dot entry of string comma integer, uh, what is it going to return? From which object we need to retrieve? From st. So that means from this set, each this map dot entry of string of integer is nothing but each and every object that we have in this set. So we'll extract one each and every object. So that object will become a me, right? It will be stored in a me variable. Now me will become what? A hash map, because each of object in the set is nothing but a hash map. So when you retrieve each and every object from st, that will become a hash map, right? So automatically this me will become a hash map. So now using that me, what I'm doing is we can get the key and value by using Getkey and Getvalue methods. Yesterday I told you. What I'm doing is using a system.out.print. I'm using this me as a hash map and making a call to Getkey method. So what is this Getkey method going to do? It is going to return the key, right? So after displaying the key, I'm displaying a colon symbol, and then I'm making a call to Getvalue method in the next system.out.print, right? So this is print only. This is println. So after printing this key, the cursor will not go to the next line, but after printing the value, the cursor will go to the next line. So we are displaying both key and value pairs. How to get individually key and value separately means by using Getkey method and Getvalue method. So when you make a call to Getkey method, so this is going to return the key name, and Getvalue method is going to return the value associated with that key. So I'm making a call to them using me, where me is nothing but a hash map extracted during every for each loop iteration from the set st, and we have already created a set st here. So that means what? From this hash map, I am retrieving each and every hash map key value pair and storing them in the form of a set here in this. So now this set is storing another hash map as its object. So in that way, how many hash maps are stored? As many you want, you can store, right? So how many entries are there in that hash map? That many entries will be created in this set, right? So this will, I think this program will be a little bit confusing because directly I have taken a little bit complex application. First, if you create a program using set, and then uh, if you use map.entry, then you'll understand better. But anyhow, I want to make it short in a single program, so that's the reason I include it in this way. Let me execute the program, then you'll understand a little bit more. If you don't understand, tell me, then I'll explain it in a better way. So what is the name of the class? HashMap demo. The key is displayed as A and its value is displayed as 100. B 200, C 300, D 400. So this is done by the for each loop here that we created here, right? And first we created a hash map, and then we put the elements, and then we retrieved these hash map entries from the uh, hash map that we created, that is HM, using entry set, and stored them in the form of a set in the set we created here. So ST is a set, right? So this set will not allow you to store duplicate values. It will not allow you to store any duplicate values. So each and every entry that you are adding into this set must be unique. See, if you check A, B, C keys are A, B, C, D keys are unique, and their values are also unique: 100, 200, 300, 400, respectively, right? So you cannot have multiple set. You can make anything as set instead of making a hash map as a set. Collection of hash map entries as a set. You can also make normal set also, simply storing only one value. If that is the case, in that case, you need not write this entire thing. Only one data type you can mention, either string or integer, like that you can mention, and directly instantiate this set object using the new operator and the set constructor. Okay, so in that way you can create a set and add elements into that set. So even set also has some methods to add. We can use that add method, and then you can add elements. So we'll see about set later. We'll come back to this program after completing HasSets and all. So there is another program called HasSet program. The HashMap is different from HasSet. HashMap is different from HasSet. Set is an interface, right? HasSet is a class. Just like map is an interface and HashMap is an class, HashMap class implements map interface. Similarly, HashSet is another class which implements set interface. So once you understand HashSet, then you understand more about set interface. Just like you understood about map interface, you can understand about set interface also, right? So first, let me go to HashSet program. So you know HashSet because it is implementing set interface. The HashSet will not allow any duplicate entries. They are interlinked with each other. Okay. So how to create a set means, you look at the way I created. HashSet is the name of the class, and what type of values I can store. string type of value, and each of those value that I'm storing must be unique value. I cannot store repeated values. So the HasSet name is given as HS. I'm instantiating with the new operator and HasSet construct, right? Here also you need to mention string. Then how to add elements means use the same add method, hs.add. I'm adding all these elements, beta, alpha, eta, gamma, epsilon, omega, right? Then how many elements will be there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements are there. Then using any of this hash set or any collection classes, you can call the iterator method. Earlier for array list also we have called an iterator method, right? So you can call this iterator method using any of the uh, collection classes like array list class, hash set class, reset class. We have seen many 3, 4 classes till now, right? So using any of those classes, you can make a call to this iterator method. So this is going to return an iterator object. So you need to specify a reference variable for iterator interface. So once you get this iterator object, then first I'm displaying the HS directly. So this will display all the beta, alpha, gamma, epsilon, all the elements of this hash. Then after that I'm using while loop I dot has next. So once you get a iterator object, you can call has next method and next method. So has next method will return true if there are further elements in the set. Because for the first time you are calling this has next method, definitely the set has 6 elements. First element will be referred, it will browse the first element and it will return true because there is an element. Then system.out.println in the next line will call next method. So this next method will return if the value that is stored at the first element, that is beta, right? So I'm iterating through this entire hash set by using that iterator object and calling has next method and next method and display all the elements there, right? So let me compile and run this program.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir. Iterator ఒకసారి చెప్తారా సార్ ఇటరేటర్ ఈ స్టేట్మెంట్
ఇటరేటర్ ఆల్రెడీ మొన్న చూసాం కదా ఎర్రే లిస్ట్ లో.
సార్
యా, ఇటరేటర్ అనేది ఇట్ ఈస్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇంటర్ఫేస్ ఇన్ యూటిల్ ప్యాకేజ్ కలెక్షన్ ఫ్రేమ్వర్క్.
ఓకే సార్
చెప్తా ఒక్క నిమిషం. Iterator is also an interface. Find in a util package. So what is the purpose of this means what? As methods using which you can iterate to any collection. So means what? Iterator is an interface which contains methods like we have used 2 methods here, right? As next method and next method. And this iterator will be implemented by all the collection interfaces, collection classes. Okay, so this iterator will be implemented by all the collection classes. So if they are implementing, then what does it mean? You can call the iterator method, and that iterator method will return a object of type iterator interface. And because these methods are defined in this by all these classes, you can make a call using that interface object to those methods called has next and next method. So what is this has next method going to do? I'll mention here has next here, has next, hmm, next methods. Right? So what is has next going to do? Has next method. This is it returns true if the collection has a next object in it, and next method. What is it going to do is it is going to returns the object or if the collection has next object in it. Right. So for example, earlier we have created a iterator object for iterating through a array list, right? So we can assume that array list like this containing I'll put it in square brackets. Say we have stored Hyderabad, then Bangalore. Like, say for example, these are the three elements stored in that array list, the given array list, right? Then, so array list is a collection, right? It is a collection class. So you know what is a collection? Collection contains a set of a group of individual objects. Now Hyderabad is an individual object. Bangalore is another individual object. Chennai is another individual object. So all these objects are grouped together to form a collection. So when we collect them together, we call this entire three objects together as a collection. Right? So, and what type of values you can store in this collection means any type of value. It can be a string, it can be an integer, it can be a floating point, it can be a double, it can be a boolean value. So, anything, but it must be an object of a class. It cannot be any primitive data type. So, that is what we learned from the collection earlier, right? So, any collection you take, not just the array list, you take hash map or you can take hash set also. So whatever may be the collection, all these collections will have multiple objects together, stored together collectively, right? So when you have multiple objects in them, stored in them, if you want to traverse through each and every object and know its get its information, then traversing through all these elements is called as iteration. What does for loop does? For loop, for example, if you are taking a for loop, say I'll write for I equal to 0, I less than say some n, where n is the size of an array, for example, right? If I write this for loop and mention here, say that array name is a, I specify a of I is equal to some I plus 1, I plus plus, like this. What is the meaning of this one? I am using this I variable, initializing it to 0, and using this I value, I am traversing through entire array. And let us assume that this array is already declared like this int some a of some n, like this. So in place of n, you can give 10 here. So what is this for loop allowing me? It is allowing me to iterate through each and every element of the array starting from index 0. So first iteration I value will be 0, next iteration I value will be 1, next iteration I value will be 2, so on up to 9 index I'm going to iterate. Iteration means what? Going through each and every element that is stored in that array, right? So to go through all these elements, if it is an array, we'll be using this for loop. But coming to these collections, to iterate through these collections instead of using this for loop or for each loop, we have another concept called Iterator Interface, which will allow us to iterate through this entire collection, whichever collection you want to, by using two methods called hasNext method and next method. So what is the advantage of using this hasNext method and next method is, unlike this for loop that we use, so for loop we need to explicitly specify the size of the collection, right? But to know the size of the collection, again we need to make a call to size method, collection object dot size method. Then that size method will return the number of elements in that size. So instead of going through all those things, we can use hasNext method in a while loop, right? So this method will return a boolean value, either true or false. So when it is going to return true, true, and when it is going to return false. The first, what is this next method, hasNext method, going to do is, on upon whichever collection object you are making a call to that hasNext method, so it is going to check whether that collection has some object stored in it or not. So if at all, if it is having, it is going to check whether there is a first element, first object. So if there is a first object, then it is going to return true. If there are no more objects, it is going to return false. That means this method is going to go through each and every object that is stored in the collection. It is going to check whether there are objects available in the collection or not. If at all, if there are objects, then it is going to return true. If there are no objects, it is going to return false. So first time when you make a call to a hasNext method using that object of collection, any collection, it can be a array list collection or it can be a hash set collection, whatever it is, right? Or linked list, whatever it is. So first time when you call, because the collection is not empty, it is going to return true, right? So that means what? It has found the first element Hyderabad. So it is going to, there is an object. So that's why it is going to return true. So next iteration, what is it going to do? It is going to go to next object. So it has found the second object also. So it is going to return true again. Then in the next iteration, it will find Chennai, third object. So it is going to return true again. Then next time, fourth time when you make a call, are there any other elements available in this array list? There are no more elements. So now it is going to return false. So as long as there are elements, for each and every element, it is going to uh, return true. So how many times this hasNext method is going to return true? As many times as there are objects in the collection, right? So for every time you call, it will refer to one object in the collection. So first time when you make a call, it refers to the first object. Second time when you make a call, it refers to the second object. Third time when you make a call, it refers to the third object. That means it is going to travel from the first object to the last element, last object. So once the last object is over, the next time if you make a call, because there are no further objects stored in the collection, it is going to return false, right? So each time you are making a call to hasNext, we are also making a call to next method also, right? So what is this hasNext method going to do? It is going to check whether there is an object available or not. If it is available, it is going to return true or false. So true means yes, there is an object. False means no, there is no object. It is going to tell us only whether there is an object available in that collection or not. It is not going to tell what that object is. But next method, what is it going to do? It is going to tell us what that object is, right? So first time when you make a call to hasNext method, because you put this in while loop, what is it going to return? It is going to return true. Then you will enter into the while loop, and inside the while loop, using the same collection object, you are making a call to next method. So what is this next method going to do? It is not just going to travel through each and every object, but it is going to return the content stored in that object. So first it goes to next Hyderabad, then it will return this value Hyderabad. Then next iteration it will return Bangalore. Next iteration it will return Chennai. So that is what we are doing here in this HasSet. So first we created a iterator object using HS by making a call to iterator method using HS. This iterator method is defined in every collection class, be it linked list or array list or HashSet, right? HashMap. All these in all these classes you have this iterator method. It will be available in all these classes. So using any of this class object you can make a call. So now in this scenario, what is the class we are defining? We have created object for, we have created for HashSet class, right? And we are storing in this HashSet some string values. So using that HashSet object, I am making a call to iterator. So now this iterator object I is corresponding to this HashSet collection, right? It is going to traverse through this HashSet HS. So I am displaying HashSet first, and then in the while loop, using this iterator, because now this iterator is representing this HashSet, it is iterating through this HashSet HS. So first it will go through the first element, and it will find the first element beta, then it will return true. So once this becomes true, this system.out.println will be executed because this is part of the while loop. And in this system.out.println, I'm making a call to next method. That means the next method will go through this first element and it will return the value beta. So that beta string will be displayed with using the system.out.println. As next method will only return true or false, right? So both HasNext and next method are traversing through all these elements. First, both of them will travel through first element beta, and because it is present, this will return true, and this will return the value that is stored at that first element, that is beta. Similarly, in the next iteration, again when you call HasNext, it will go through next one. Because it has already traversed through beta, it will not go back to beta again. It will go to alpha, right? Then again it is found, so it will return true. Then this one will return the value alpha. So in the next iteration, this will return again true because it found eta, right? So next method will return the eta. Next iteration, gamma is found, gamma will be returned. Next iteration epsilon is found, epsilon will be returned. Then last iteration, omega is found, omega will be returned. So again, when you go into the for loop, this time has next method, because there are no more objects in the collection, it is going to return false. So if this returns false, this system.out.println will not be executed, will come out of the while loop. So that is the purpose of an iterator object. So iterator is an interface which provides us with some methods called hasNext and hasNext method, using which you can iterate through any collection interface, collection objects, right? So we'll have the same iterator kind of thing methods even in other classes in Java, other predefined classes in Java also. We'll see them later. When you're using database connectivity, there also you'll have this has next method, next methods, and all these things. But they are part of different class. They are not part of this class. They're part of another package in another class. So we'll see them later, right? So there also the purpose of has next is same, and the purpose of next method is also same. The only thing is here we are iterating through a collection object. There we are going to iterate through some database records. That's the only difference. Understood what is an iterator?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now we are creating a hash set and we are iterating through hash set and displaying the each and every element stored in the hash set by using this iterator. Right. So how is the hash set displayed? It is also displayed in the form of square brackets only. Gamma, eta, alpha, epsilon, omega, beta. So we are iterating through that hash set and displaying them individually, one after the other, in a separate line like this. Right. So now in the same program, let me try and add hs dot add an existing element, say I'm going to add beta. Okay. What is happening? Earlier we have gamma, eta, so beta is not there earlier. Add beta.
So the last one beta.
Yeah, last one is beta. No? Okay. Did we? So even though you try to add omega multiple times, right, or beta multiple times, it will take only one. It will not accept multiple values. So it will not allow duplication, right? So even though you try to store omega a second time, because already omega is stored in the previous occasion itself, so that omega will remain as it is. It will not be added second time. So how many times omega is there? Only one time. Even beta, how many times it is there? Only one time. Everything can be stored only one time. No repetitions will be allowed. So even your program is not generating any error, but when you run the program, it will store only one value. You try to store multiple values, but it will store only one value. It will not accept multiple same values. Okay. So this is HashSet. So HashSet demo, HashSet is a class which will implement what? Set interface. It will implement set interface. So set is a interface. So it will store a single value like that, unlike the hash map. So what is the difference between hash map and hash set? Hash map is like an associative array in PHP, whereas hash set is a normal array kind of a thing, but it will store only one entry for every value. It will not store duplicate values. It will not allow duplicate value. So you can think of HashSet as a similar to array list, but whereas array list will allow you to store duplicate values, whereas HashSet will not allow you to store duplicate values. Okay, but linked list is also similar to array list we have discussed yesterday. But the difference between linked list and array list is array list memory organization is different, and linked list memory organization is different. Fine. So coming to map entry that we were discussing earlier. So what we have done here is uh, we are creating a set. We're creating a set, but how you are creating a set means by making a call to entry set method. So what is this entry set method going to do is it is going to return a set. It is going to return a set. And how you are calling this entry set method? Using HM object. What is HM? HM is already created as a map, hash map, right? So what is a hash map? Hash map contains key value pairs. So here we have 4 key value pairs in this hash map HM. A is one key and new 100 is its value. B is a key and 200 is its value. C is a key and 300 is its value. D is a key and 400 is its value. So all these key value pairs will be returned in the form of a single entry. So this uh, key value will be written in the form of a one element, and that will be stored in this set as one element. Right? B and its value 200 will be stored as another element in this set. C and its value will be stored as another element in this set. D and 400 will be stored as another element in this set. But to store this hash map key value pairs in the form of set elements in a set, we cannot do that directly. Instead, we have to call entry set method. Entry set method which is defined in this hash map class. So because we have already created this hash map object HM and stored these 4 key value pairs, so now when you make a call to entry set method using this HM object, so what is this going to do is it is going to return a set containing uh, 4 different objects. Each object is nothing but a key value pair. Each object is nothing but a key value pair. So this is going to create each and every element, every key value pair as an element as an entry in the set. What we need to do is we need to create a reference variable for this set st in such a way that this has an object of type map.entry. Map.entry. If you don't use this map.entry and directly use only st, then this st will not accept this map entry key value pairs. So to make this set accept this key value pairs as each as a single entity uh, in this set, we need to create a set in such a way that this set contains another map.entry interface type of collection. Right? So now each element that you are storing, that is key value pair, is stored as uh, another collection individually. Another collection individually, and that is going to store key value pairs in the form of key in the form of string and value in the form of integer. So we need to declare this set in that way. Then only the set object will be created. If you don't want to create a set like this, you can create an ordinary set like this using set interface and then use angular bracket open and closed. You can mention either string or integer, whatever you want, you can create and create an object. You say yes is equal to new operator, and you can use hash set because we cannot instantiate interface set, but we can instantiate it by using a class called HasSet class which implements set interface. Okay, so you can use HasSet string and then you can declare this like this one. Then what is this set going to store? It is going to store ordinary string values, each string value as a separate object of the set, but it will not accept duplicate entries because set will have unique values. It will not have duplicate values, right? So in this way you can create. But I don't want this each and every object of my set to be a ordinary string value. I want them to be a key value pairs. I want them to be a key value pair. So if you want to make each and every element of this set, each and every item of this set as a key value pair, like we store elements in HashMap, Then you need to make a call to entry set method, and this is going to return what? Each and every key value pair it is going to return, and that will be stored in this set internally by using this map entry interface, because you're specifying the type of value that you're storing in this set as a map entry. And what is this map entry in turn going to store? It is going to store uh, hash map like kind of values, string and integers. Okay. After doing this, I'll put this in comment. After doing this, now using the for each loop, what you're doing is, in for each loop, what will we have? We'll have a colon symbol, and before that colon symbol, we'll have a variable which will be of the data type whatever value you are extracting from the a collection variable which is there after the colon symbol. So after the colon symbol, I'm using st. What is st? It is a set type of object, right? So what is the each and every entry type in this set? It is of type map.entry, right? So I need to specify before me, right? Before me, this map.entry data type, map.entry. So earlier we have used in for each loop like this. For we have used string, say s colon. For example, I have created or s1, say a colon s. Like this we need to give if it is set like this, right? Because this is going to store string type. Each and every object stored in this set is a string data type. So we need to mention the string data type followed by the variable name a and followed by the set collection way object. So what is a set collection object? S here. So I'm giving set. So because each and every element stored in this set is a of type string, I need to give a string type variable before the colon symbol. So similarly here also, because st is a set and each element in the set is of type map.entry string comma integer. So we need to mention map.entry of string comma integer followed by the variable name me colon, from which collection object you are retrieving those, from st. So you have to specify that st. Then using system.out.println, using a hash map object, we can make a call to Getkey and Getvalue methods. So what is this Getkey and Getvalue method going to do is, Getkey is going to return the first key. So this me is going to represent only one pair of uh, key value pair from the st, right? So that key, whatever key you have, if you want to extract that key, you have to call the Getkey method. If you want to extract the value associated with that key, you have to call Getvalue method using that me object. So I'm calling Getkey, Getvalue method. So Getkey will return key name a, and Getvalue will return its value 100 in the first iteration. In the second iteration, me is going to represent the second key value pair b and 200. So Getkey will return b and Getvalue will return 200. So in the next iteration, c and 300. So Getkey will return c and Getvalue will return 300. And the next iteration, d and 400. So Getkey will return d and Getvalue will return 400. So the next, there will not be next iteration, because this for each loop will repeat exactly as many times as there are elements in that collection. Okay. So as such, after 4 iterations, we'll come out of the for each loop. So let me remove this. So this is how hash map can be used. Similarly, we can also have we have also seen yesterday in yesterday's program contains key, right? So contains key method is going to check whether the hash map contains a specific key with a specific name, and that specific name you need to give as parameter to the uh, contains key method. We have seen that program yesterday, right? Today also we have dealt with the same hash maps only, but along with hash map, we have also seen a new interface and a new class called HasSet and set interface. Fine. So this is HasSet we have seen, And to create a HasSet directly, you can create this way an object for HasSet class, or you can take instead of HasSet object, you can use a set object also, right? Where set is an interface, and that set interface is implemented by HasSet class, just like map interface is implemented by HashMap class. The set interface is implemented by HasSet class. Okay, understood?
Yes, sir.
So you practice programs on these things. If you want, I'll repeat once again on the Monday's class.
Okay, sir. Hello. Hello. Sir, hello.